Anyway, that's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I also think that part.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
What day?
The best part of that. I had a case that was so miles and minors. Just not. What we want, I had everybody waiting to the.
Oh, cool.
Got my name.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry. Commemorative.
That's
Jack. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Jack, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Long time no see. Hey, Troy.
Hey, how you doing?
You doing well? Brent? Long time.
It was the Jefferson Street. It was
I think it's still.
That's right.
Unless I really. We'll keep looking for you. It was presented as some kind of funding code for, I don't care.
Right. I thought it was increasing.
Added that. Yeah.
Nothing.
It won't work.
Nope.
I guess.
Are you guys on that side? Are you working on that side?
Hello?
No. I don't think so. Now I'm on.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's this number? Yes.
Add some. Does anything ring a bell? Anybody won't happen tonight. Pull that back out.
Right.
Now the James Conlon regular town council meeting is hereby called to order.
Council, I would appreciate if you would please bow your head. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, send down upon us the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, so that with steadfast purpose we may faithfully serve in our offices and promote the well-being of all people. We ask this in your name. Rise and say pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, next we have a public hearing on ordinance 2023-01. This is a proposed zoning map amendment on property located on Jefford Street, 1429 Jefford Street, from low density residential to residential office. So I call the public hearing into order, and I open the public hearing. And we have people signed in, and the first person we have signed in is Christopher Inder,
MD.
MD.
I just wanted to let everybody know here, I'm here on behalf of rezoning. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer anything with my wife. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we have Kyle Ricker. Ricker.
Mr. Mayor.
So usually you could come up and speak.
I didn't know if I was thinking of someone down there or not.
Oh, you don't have to, but
I live
Okay.
in 1429 Jefferson Street, and I just didn't see the site plan, what was gonna happen at the rezoning, so I came over.
well, thank you. Okay, Trey Williams. Also on.
Yes, I'm 1426, same time.
Okay, thank you. And David Vernon.
Yeah, I'm Dave Ryan, I'm the owner of the parcel being up for rezoning. The public comment just here, if you guys have questions.
Okay, well, that's all we have listed for speaking at the public hearing. There being no further comment, I call the public hearing closed. So now we'll go to public comment, and so this would be for other things besides the public hearing on the rezoning, and I have no one who signed up for public comment. Yes, ma'am. Let's go ahead and speak.
Hi, I'm Amy. I didn't get to speak earlier, but I was I did sign up for there. Basically, I am the one that is looking to purchase the property that's being rezoned so that we can have enough parking for our future swim school. I'm sure you've seen the sign. And right now our lot is a little too small. We need some more space, and we believe that this would be a very good addition to Jefford Street, keeping it quiet and not, allowing for more business, but just a quiet staff parking lot. So I'm here for any questions that you have.
Well, I greatly apologize for not calling you during the public hearing, but
That's okay.
I'm in back. Okay, so there being no more public comments on other issues, next we have the consent agendas and our motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Just a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So that passes. Next, we have our finance report. Well,
Y'all remember, I did not report last month. So I have a little more information. Under franchise fee for November, 35,000 were Comcast and 5,600 were DirecTV. The loss fund for October and November. It shows under November and December, but they're actually October and November funds. December was a free pay month, so all the salaries are free checks. The insurance of $13,000 is to the state accident fund, which is workers' comp. Okay, under projects, 1,575 is JLA for the small wireless facility. Under asset management, the annual fees of $25,000 Thomas and Hutton. Community service, the $2,800 is, on Seaside Lane, windows, deck, and roof leak. Ocean View and Sunset drainage. $7,300 was to Michael Baker for easement, and $8,200 for Thomas and Hutton. Hospitality, shows under December, that's both October and November. You'll see the community grants y'all voted for last time. We made our second payment to the Low Country, local first. 21,000. I think that's all.
Any questions for Mel? All right, thank you very much. Okay, next, town administrator report.
December was a full month. A lot of it wrapped up right at the end of the year. So we are excited to start a new year and get some new or ongoing projects really hitting the floor and running. One of which is the Ocean View Stone Post Drainage Improvement Project that is currently out for bid. That will close, and hopefully we'll have a recommendation to bring to the February council meeting to select a contractor. We hope to also put out the Woodhaven drainage improvement project that we didn't receive any bids on. We heard that it might have more success at the beginning of the year, so we have to put that one back out soon too. We have our new town website is online. We've done some reorganizing to make things a little more user-friendly and informative for our citizens. And we've also been actively working to implement the new GoGov software. So the citizen request module portion of that is almost finished, and we hope to go live by the end of January. So that would be the app portion that the citizens could download and access different pages on our website quickly and easily, and then also submit requests for issues with a sign down or drainage issues, or if they have a code enforcement complaint, or if they just want to send a request to use a facility, and they can all do that from the quick little app on their phones or through the website. And today I submitted the letter of intent to apply for the 2022-2023 PARG grant. They have allocated the town about $5,600. So we'll have that full application, and it's due at the end of March. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. And that's it.
Any questions for town administrator? Thank you very much. All right, let's go to public works report.
Good evening, everyone. December was a slow month. There were no requests for service in December. We met with the City of Charleston Office of Resiliency to establish relations and plan for coordinated efforts to meet rising sea levels. Staff attended the annual SCASM, that's South Carolina Association of Stormwater Managers board meeting in December. Staff participated in the annual Christmas tree lighting. We monitored the solar panel installation in Town Hall and the James Bond Arts and Cultural Center. We held a pre-construction meeting for stormwater at Chick-fil-A. We had 2 additional septic tank inspections. This brings us up to 54% of the responding residents, 12% of the total. Staff continues traffic studies on Ropetown and continue to gather data on Julian Clark and Bill's Bluff. We did some vegetative maintenance, built 2 potholes, and repaired 2 sites.
Questions for public works director? Yes, Councilman Milligan.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Johnson, the numbers, the actual raw numbers on the septic tank inspections, how many of those inspections were there?
There, you mean altogether, so far?
Altogether, yes.
48.
48 so far? And how many are needed?
200.
200.
And we're going to resend the letter to everyone, so that'll get out. What I've heard is a lot of people just throw it out, or they're absentee and didn't get it.
Right, right. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Island Sheriff's Patrol reports. James?
Evening.
Evening.
We had a little bit of a busy month. We had some incidents, some that we've solved, some we have not solved. The Hideout Bar and Grill had two different assaults, one of which was a stabbing. The victim was in stable condition afterwards, but they were very uncooperative. We know that they know who the suspect was, but they didn't want to cooperate whatsoever. In the first incident that happened prior to Christmas, there was an arrest made for assault and battery. For that, we haven't had anything since then, so we assume these are just isolated incidents. We had a stolen dirt bike on 1221 from Honey Hill Road, and red and black Honda CRF 110, and that was later recovered on 1221 the same day. I'm sorry, a week later, I apologize, it was recovered, located in Marshall Bayfront Park. We had a shooting on Seaside Lane. We're complaining, saw a white sedan with a male driver between 20 and 30, fire pistol out the car towards one of the addresses. No injuries reported, but we did find some gunshot damage to the exterior and interior of the residence. Deputy Bruckner got into pursuit from Camp Mount Vernon and chased a vehicle, 2006 Dodge Ram. These are some suspects that were from the Monk's Corner area visiting James Island. I hope they don't come back because they got a pursuit and they fled on foot, throwing a Remington Sportsman 58 12 gauge sawed-off shotgun out the window during the pursuit, and all of them were captured. And he was a convicted felon. He was charged with reckless driving, DUS third, possession of a sawed-off shotgun, failed to stop a blue light, resisted arrest, and then the passenger was throwing the shotgun out the window, and they were charged with possession of a sawed-off shotgun, littering, and resisting arrest. And they also had holds for Dorchester County probation and parole. And then there was also a bunch of credit cards from some other individuals that detected their escape. So hopefully they don't come back to town of James Island and they go back to Monk's Corner. I actually tried to stop a juvenile on a dirt bike over on Inland, and he actually bailed off the dirt bike and ended up running and didn't catch him at the moment. The victim comes to get the dirt bike and said the guy pointed a gun at them, and then come to find out that that story was kind of all over the place. And one of the juveniles that came and said he was on the dirt bike was a juvenile that was incorrigible and was in DSS custody and had run away from upstate. So anyway, so that was kind of we got the recovered dirt bike, and of course they declined to press charges against the suspect, which we later identified as another troubled young man that we've been dealing with for a long time. But an auto break-in where a victim on January 6th was at 907 Folly Road and stated that her vehicle passenger window was shattered and a bank bag containing $4,000 in cash was taken. That's still being investigated by detectives, but at this time, it's not been solved. We also had a 16-year-old charged with carrying weapons on school property on January 11th. This is Satima Clark, and this firearm was used later on that night. We got the pursuit in North Charleston, and they bailed out, and the same gun was on him, and it's from the same juvenile. We also had a pointing and presenting firearm on 906 Folly Road, where they pulled the firearm out, and the victim declined to press charges, even though we identified the suspect. They wouldn't press charges. So you can hear a lot of gun stuff and everything. So we're constantly trying to recover guns. We're constantly trying to remind people to lock their cards up so don't donate any guns to anybody that's on the street. We also work Clearview very hard, work Pauline some, and then we work Clearview very hard. We also had Lieutenant Martin, who's in charge of the traffic unit, put the stealth stat up there on Clearview, and we realized that less than 1% were doing more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So we actually got those stats and we brought them back to Mr. Johnson. So we actually did put that up for a week, and we're still out there stopping cars and out there being seen on Clearview. We know that was a complaint area. So what I've been trying to do is every couple of weeks look for a different complaint area that we have, kind of hit that area, try to find out if there's actual problem, something that we need to do, and see if there's some traffic calming thing that we need to bring to your attention, but we haven't seen anything like that.
Right, well, thank you. Any questions for Lieutenant James? All right, well, thank you very much. Okay, there are no requests for approval by staff this evening. We have next our committee reports, Land Use Committee, Council.
Yes,
Yeah.
both the planning commission and the BZA met this month. One was about the indoor pool and parking, and the BZA BZA handled the roundabout at Camp in Fort Johnson and another fence matter on Harborview. That's all I have.
Great, thank you very much. Environmental Beautification Committee, Councilman Wojcik.
Thank you. Yes, we had a very successful litter pickup by James Island Pride this past weekend. We had 16 volunteers remove 30 bags of litter. These volunteers were from James Island Charter High School and from the Exchange Club. It was a great cold morning, but we got 30 bags of litter. If you imagine, each bag at minimum is 15 pounds, which it isn't. They're usually a lot heavier than that. We got over 450 pounds of trash off the roadways. And that's only in 2 hours. Sadly, there's more to do. So if anybody wants to go pick up trash, please do. All right, there's lots out there. The other thing that I have here, and I'd like to call Merrill Roll up for a presentation. And Mr. Zenny Quinn, if you could join us up here, please.
I'm prepared.
Zenny, I just want to present you with the Community Hero Award. We've been waiting for you to get off the train for a while, and I'm glad that you're off it now. So that we can give you this wonderful award. What's wonderful about this award is James Island Pride did not nominate you. You were nominated by Merrill Rowe from our staff. So I would like Merrill to make the presentation.
I'm not very prepared, but I nominated you because you have been so responsive and responsible, not only for your neighborhood, but anytime the town has ever called, you quickly come, and you're so responsible at all committees you come to. And we appreciate you so much.
Okay. This one, you did, Lorraine? Yeah. You're all set. Sorry. That's all.
Thank you. There's no report from Children's Committee, Public Safety Committee, Councilman Lawrence.
Yeah. We didn't have a meeting in December because of Christmas, of course, but we're gonna have one, 7 o'clock next Thursday. It is, the 26th of January, and we're gonna have, engineers from Plum Island, and, speak with, tell us how the facility works. So it should be very, interesting. I invite anyone who wants to come, please come, the meeting to be very interesting, again, at 7 o'clock next Thursday, the 26th. That's all I have for.
Thank you very much. The History Committee met, and we are working on 2 major projects. One would be the Civil War event at the first shot, which is in April, and the second is for Juneteenth, which is around June 19th. And we'll have more information on that as we move forward. The next item is Rethink Folly Road, and so we have a meeting on February 22nd.
I mean, we will be sending out an email to kind of gauge people's timing that they would like to see, because it will be an in-person meeting. So that should be going out next week. You'll see it from Flannery. She's going to help us out with that.
Thank you. Drainage Committee,
I have no report this time.
Business Development Committee,
The report, thank you.
Tree Advisory Committee.
Yes, the Tree Advisory Committee would like to make some appointments to the Tree Advisory Council as the current council's appointments have expired. So I would like to make a couple of nominations if I could. My first one would be Paul Cantrell.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. My second is Robin Harden.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And my third is Julie Hallman.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And other members of council, if you have members that you would like to nominate from the past, I've spoken to a number of them and they are still willing to serve. I believe Councilman Bowles nominated David Tomlin. And
Shall I nominate him again?
well, I think that you can, I can. So there you go.
All right, so moved.
Second. If I could, but, yeah, I could.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. David. And Cynthia, I think you nominated Jenny Welch.
Okay. So, she's willing, then I'll nominate her again.
All right, now second,
Okay.
or, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mayor Woolsey, I believe that you nominated Kathy Woolsey.
She is willing to serve again. I will nominate her.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And Troy, I believe your nominee was Amy Fabric.
Yeah, and he's willing to serve, I would nominate her.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have a tree council and our next meeting will be the second Tuesday in February
What time?
at 4:30. All right.
All right, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, the Intergovernmental Council is meeting this Wednesday at 7. This coming Wednesday at 7. All right, proclamations and resolutions. Resolution 2023 ISP Deputy of the Year. Resolution honoring Island Sheriff Patrol Deputy of the Year, Lieutenant Herman Martin. Whereas Lieutenant Martin has been nominated by his peers as the Town of James Island Sheriff Patrol Deputy of the Year, and whereas Lieutenant Martin has dedicated over 22 work weeks for the town of James Island in 2022, so 882 hours. And whereas Lieutenant Martin worked evenings and late nights in addition to his normal work duties as a traffic lieutenant, and whereas violent crimes decreased in 2022 due to Lieutenant Martin's work ethic. As a direct reflection of his dedication, he stopped 312 vehicles and responded to numerous calls for service. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of James Island recognizes the outstanding service, commitment, and dedication of Lieutenant Herman Martin as the Island Sheriff Patrol Deputy of the Year 2022 and congratulate and recognize his service. Is there a motion? Well, I make the motion that we approve this. Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Smile from. Good one without me. Good one. I want to do it. All right, if I can say, Herman Morton, you know, I've known him for 25 plus years. And, when he took over over here, working town, he is the dedicated like that. He works all day long, 9 to 5, goes home, takes a nap, and comes back at least 3 days a week, 4 days a week, works till 1 in the morning, and gets back up and does it again the next day. Not only that, he's on call every other week for every traffic collision that occurs where there's a serious injury or death in any county people would. You can imagine 300 and something out that drive, not counting EMS, fire, and other agencies. So this phone never stops. And then on weekends, everything works at least 2 weeks a month with 3 a.m. That's all. So he put in 22 extra weeks here. Not only that, that's not counting the off duty where he can charge the soul of the island. He then, goes out, works the fair, and other off duties. So when it comes to dedication, my hat's off to this guy. Because everybody knows him, everybody loves him, can't miss him. And, he's a good man. He's a great person, and a great advocate.
Thank you.
So next, we have an ordinance up for first reading. This is the ordinance that we have a public hearing for. This is the zoning map amendment on the property located at 1439 Jefferson Street from low density residential to residential office for a pervious parking lot and stormwater facilities to support the adjacent lot use. The map 42701-00062. Is there a motion? Well, we should speak to this.
Sure. So this application was brought by the nice young lady that spoke at public hearing to convert this portion of a lot to support some additional parking area. It will remain pervious and to provide some stormwater facilities for a swim school.
All right, any well, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Any discussion?
Anybody spoke against it?
No, we had no comments against it. Kristen is here to answer questions, our planning director, as well as, of course, the applicants.
So I looked on Google Maps, Kristen, and this appears to be at the end of the street,
Yeah, then the Jeffords.
and it looks like 1439 is like past the end, almost like the lot. Right.
Right, it's a weird setup. There's a flag that goes to the subject parcel. And then there's a flag that goes to lot 6, the one at the back on the adjacent one. It was subdivided in the 80s that way. So when you see on the site plan, the flag portion is not actually shown on that conceptual site plan. So if you're looking at the flag is actually down here. This is not actually the road. The road is down here. The flag portion is down here. This is just a conceptual drawing. So there would not be any access from Jeffords onto this lot. It
Right.
would require a privacy fence and buffering to prevent that from happening.
And people would access it from
From Folly Road, so this
Sure,
actual
yeah,
swim
that's
school
it.
will be on 1444 Folly, which is right here. And I believe most of the parking for people who are actually going to the swim school would remain on 1444 lot.
and then just remind me the way ordinances work. We have to vote more than once on it.
This will be first reading and there'll be a second reading.
So between
Yeah.
now and the second reading, if there is anyone in the neighborhood that has feelings, they can tell us. Okay.
And right, yes.
All right, any other questions or discussion? Yes, Garrett, Councilman Miller.
Yeah, I had a question about which one of these is going to have the pool on it, on the map. Okay.
Yeah, it's sorry, hold on, let me- right here.
Okay, so right there,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Mhm.
This, I guess.
And then I know it's a little confusing
It's
with
gotta
that,
go this way.
right? So it would be here,
Right, I got it.
and then they would abandon this lot line right here.
Okay, I got it. All right.
It's the vacant lot next to Emmanuel Baptist Church. It's
Yeah,
the
the
last
church
lot in the
owns-
town of James Island. And that would be where the pool is, and this is right behind it, or
Mhm.
more or less.
I thought this was the Folly Road.
Yeah, mhm.
So
So
this,
Folly,
this is not gonna be abandoned, this is gonna stay a fence, right?
right, this will be a fence. This
Okay.
is Jeffers. And
Yeah.
so this is kind of where the lot line is right
Mhm.
now. And so Folly Road is
Yeah,
right here.
okay.
Kind of parallel with Jeffers.
So that means stays.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's-
this one stays.
Folly Road is over here,
All right, so
Right,
so
they're
then-
abandoning
the lot line that's between,
this one
right?
right
Right
here. Okay, all right, I get it now. All right,
Sorry.
okay, all right,
It would-
north.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Opposed? That passes. We have no ordinance available for second or final reading. No old business, any new business? Executive sessions. So now we have announcements and closing comments. So, Councilman Bull.
Happy New Year. Glad to see everybody. Congratulations to our deputy of the year. Thank you.
Councilwoman Yana.
It's good to be back. Happy January to everyone. Congratulations on all your hard work. Thank you very much for everything you do every day.
Thank you.
Councilman,
I just want to extend congratulations to Herman again, and thank you for all that you do for our community.
Dr. Mullins.
Happy New Year to everybody, and then everybody goes to the PW meeting. This week, like, I see you around quite a bit myself, and about,
All right, there being no further business, the meeting is hereby adjourned.
How was the dinner?